Welcome back, subscribers, and hello YouTube viewers. On this occasion we're off to have a look at some bunkers. These are all World War II bunkers, and there's like a nest of them. There's at least half a dozen within, say, a half a kilometre radius, and it does overlook the more the commercial port than the tourist port where the ships would come in, the cargo ship type stuff. This is totally unexpected. Once again, it's just a moment in time. I thought I'd go and have a look because I saw this from the roadside as I was driving past. So we went to Google Earth. There's no mention of it. There is a few little icons when you sort of zoom in on Google Maps, but it doesn't actually tell you how many. There's probably one or two that's listed, but there's actually about half a dozen at least, and they're all in really close proximity to each other. I'm not sure if I can get the drone up. It is woodlands here, and unfortunately, once again, as I swing this camera around, it's also a dumping ground for a lot of the commercial businesses. Maybe a little bit of household trash as well, but it all looks like building materials that are being dumped. But it is what it is. We'll have a look. I've just come to the first bunker that's directly behind me, and you can go in it. So without me waffling on too much, let's jump into this and let's see what we can see. And I'll try to get as many as I can of these bunkers. And I can tell you, I've been passing this place quite often, and I've never really noticed it until I saw this one bunker I'm at now. And yeah, I've realised there's a whole handful. So if I can get the drone up, good and well. It is raining, but only slightly. And hopefully this might be sort of some interest to people. So these are all World War II bunkers. These were all built by the Italians who occupied the bulk of back then Yugoslavia, or the state of Croatia. And these are all sort of overlooking, as I've mentioned, the wharf of where all the commercial ships would come in, and also where the fuel like oil and petrol and all that sort of stuff would have most likely come in back in the 30s and 40s. So without further ado, let's just continue on and explore. So as you can see, there's a bunker right there of an unusual sort of shape, and unfortunately, as I pan down, this is where all the litter is taking place. It is a bit of a shame. There is like a wrecker's yard here, and there's also a Volkswagen Skoda dealership, and also the petrol station that I used to always, or have been going to. Now, the only thing I can see here that says it's an E26 is the number for this bunker. I'm right at the entrance. Where's my feet? There's my feet. You can go right in there. Someone started the fire in it for whatever reasons, I don't know. Once again, we have the traditional dump tyre. That goes without saying these days. And this is the mounted area for that gun placement. Now, I'm not sure if that's coming in at all very good or not. I don't know. There's the slots where one would shoot out of. So I'm not sure if that's coming in at all. I'm hoping it does. So there you have it. Okay, so that's our first one. Not too exciting, but at least it's here. And you can, by all means, come here. If you're interested in sort of World War II stuff, not a problem. There's no restrictions. The road here is okay, but you won't be able to go too far because of the litter. And we'll continue on. I'll try to get the outside of it before we go to the next one. So that's the Skoda dealership just there. I'm sure they would have had cameras looking after their yards, which would have sort of highlighted who was maybe doing the dumping, but that's not for me to worry about. So that's the bunker there. It's got an overgrowth around it, and there are quite a number more. I'm going to go straight ahead, and as we can see just over there, which I showed you a little bit earlier, there's one there, but I'm going to follow the road, because if I follow the road, I'm pretty sure I stumble across a few more, and where that service station is that I always get my fuel from, that had at least two right next to it. So I'm just giving you a bit of an image of the port and probably the refinery And this port really is a commercial one. There are some large cruise ships that have arrived here, but there's another area where all the large cruise ships come, but this is more of a commercial port, so it just gives you an idea why all these bunkers were put in place. And you've got the Adriatic Ocean or sea right there. So we'll continue on. Just wanted to let you know why these bunkers are here. There's also an airport, well, I'm hoping it's at least 5.5 kilometres away. So that'll allow me to get the drone up. And if it's not, well, then I won't be able to get the drone up. And that also protects that airport that's been there probably since the 30s and 40s also. So here we have two more bunkers to our right. We've got this one here that's right next to the service station. So if you're pumping fuel here and just turned around, you'll see these two bunkers. This one to the left here is a little bit smaller, whereas that one up there seems a lot larger. So we'll see if we can get into this one and see what it's all about, see if we can see something inside. And it does appear that maybe we can't get into it. I'm not about to jump fences. I'm not as young, as fit as I used to be. So maybe we can stick our hand inside and see what we see. Well, this very much seems like the same setup as the other one. But it is interesting how it really doesn't face the wharfs at all, or the shipping area. It seems to be facing more towards where the airport is. So there you go. I'm sure if you just jump the fence there, there'd be an entry point around the back. Because as you can see, in the middle of your screen, there's that door, and it seems to either go left or right. So let's continue on. Now this one does look far more substantial in size. And I'm assuming as we come around there is an entry point, and yes there is, and there's no door to the entry, and this one's known as E32. So they are numbered. Whether or not they've been numbered recently or they were numbered by the Italians when they occupied this land. So no, it's still the E22, so I'd say this has been occupied. These numbering is per the Italians, how they did it all. So as we go through, once again, very dark. And really, there's nothing I can see here. I don't have a flashlight, unfortunately. And it does seem to have two areas whereby you've got an area where you probably keep the ammunition and something a little bit forward. And that's probably the best I can do. So that's a bit unfortunate. Okay, I'll see if I can stick the camera through one of the slots in the bunker and look in. Instead of from inside out, I look from out in and see what we see. So we'll just come around. There's a doozy of a step right here. There's some points to look out of, and I can only imagine that the door there would have been something quite structurally sound, maybe out of steel. Okay, so we'll continue around and let's see if I can see through one of the slots. Yeah, this one's much, it's nearly to say twice as big as the ones we've just seen. The other two are sort of identical, and this one seems larger. Now the growth around here is pretty special, but one of the benefits, or one of the good things about it, there's no real thorns on these shrubs, so it's not all that difficult really to get around. So here we are at the front of it, and here's one of the openings, and this one seems to be more facing the wharf instead of the airport. Just come around to this spot, and yeah, no, you can't really see too much inside. But what you can basically see, there are what appears to be concrete mounts that are reinforced with steel, where whatever gun placement would have been put on top, and it would have been like on a turret of some sort, so you can aim it through both gaps. Okay, this is what we've had to walk through. That's not too bad. And let's find the next one. So here we have another bunker. The rain is getting a little bit more heavy, but as you can see, a lot of rubble from demolition works, and it'll be a challenge to get there, but I think it's going to be okay. If anything, the rain's more of a worry than the obstacles. But we'll continue on and let's get to that one. That one's quite large as well. So as we can see, we've got one bunker right there, one slightly to the right, which I think I should be able to manage to get there, and one a lot closer to the left that looks like a giant egg. So we'll go see all three, and I'll put the camera on as we get closer again. So this slightly larger one, probably the largest one so far, is E21. And yes, the door is missing, and I think they've tried to camouflage it so it looks like a bit of a building of sorts, maybe a farm building. And let's go have a look. Once again, this one actually goes down, and unfortunately, which is a bit of a bugger, I don't have a flashlight. It's one of those things that you just don't expect to find to go into to have a look around in. But hopefully there might be enough light from those slots where the gun used to shoot out from, if it ever did. So we have a little compartment just here, but you probably can't see. And just in the distance, once again, there's nothing to sort of tell us what this place looks like, which is a bit of a, pardon my French, bugger, if bugger is a French word. So this is a huge little complex. Once again, I'll try to go around the other side. Not sure what I'll see, but unfortunately there's just not enough light, and I do have to apologise for not bringing a flashlight. So we'll just make our way out again. Once again, anyone can actually walk around here. There's no do not trespass signs or anything like that. A couple of them are noted in the Google Maps, and you can come out and have a look. And we'll just go around this side over here and see if we can see inside those slots without falling over. So I'll keep the camera going and just make our way around. So as you can see, the dome has been deliberately sort of hidden, which is a good tactic, I guess, so it wouldn't be bombed by the Allies. And if we come through here, and unfortunately looks like I'm not going to be able to go any closer. No, that's about it. I cannot go to the slits. I've got pretty much a dead end right there. And let me see. I'll see if we can see the airport, but I don't think so, because we are a fair distance away. So the airport is where that tower is, if that helps. And now I can see another bunker. So we've noted that one. There's another one there in the middle. There's another one there. And there was one that I said was shaped like a bit of an egg, which we'll go to next. So here we are at this egg-shaped one. And this one is definitely facing the port or the wharfs. Definitely not facing where the airport is. And this one is also of a different shape, with, I would say, a much larger gun emplacement, only because of the gap where the barrel would have come through, if they do come through. So we'll make our way around, and you can see the autobahn there, or the freeway. So you would have seen this coming around if you were driving past, and that freeway takes you into Zadar. Now here's a little path, I hope, and it sort of is. and we're looking for an entrance. Well, it has got one opening facing the airport, but we'll still try to make our way around. I'm just hoping the lens doesn't get covered with water. And we come right around and we find the entrance is down here. And boy, I've done a good job trying to block it, but you can get in here, not a problem. Whew, at least I'm out of the rain. There's a plus. Oh, this is good. This will be terrific because we can see there's enough light here to show you how this all is. Now on either side, I'd imagine is where they kept the whatever arsenal missiles or whatever it is that they shoot off. And coming up to a few steps is where the cannon would have been placed. Whew. Let's see if I can give the camera a bit of a wipe. Watch my finger. Not sure if that made it better or worse. So yeah, the airport is definitely sort of that way. Pardon me, and my runny nose now. And this way we have the wharf and the seafront. And on this one we have also another view overlooking the Adriatic. So there's a few little spots there. For what, I don't know. You can barely see because my glasses have all fogged up. Just want to make sure I don't step on any nails. And someone's put a sheep's head, maybe to scare off people. At least when you're looking back down and out, you get to see what this bunker really looks like. Gives you a better understanding of maybe how it all was set up. So yeah, this is where all the shells would have been kept. And the walls are, as one could imagine, very, very thick. Okay, let's make our way out. So this is one of the large ones. The one that we had been to that I couldn't see much, which was, I think, before this one, or the one before, these three are pretty much similar. They're not like the first two we saw. So we'll climb out now. So as you can see, the weather is not on my side at all. I think when I get back I'm going to have a good hot shower. But this is the one we just came out of. And it is one of the bigger ones. And we're just going to go to a few more to have a look at. There's a sort of a break in the weather, but it's still quite, it's not actually cold, it's just wet. If that's the best way to describe it. So we'll continue on. I can see a path to the next bunker. And once again, if you're out this way, you're into World War II sort of stuff, a bit of history. This is a great little location. It's just a pity there's so much trash and rubbish around. That's a bit of a shame because I think this would have been a great walking track. Maybe have some decking around to walk right around to each and every one. Because at the moment it's like an obstacle course and I'm having to play the game of Twister with all four limbs just to keep balanced. But we'll continue on regardless. Now I've come across this bunker, and it looks like it's had a direct hit. I'm not sure if it's blown up from the inside, so it's imploded, or it's copped a bomb from above. But this one is in total pieces. So at least one got knocked out before the end of the war. Quite interesting. I can't get any closer because it's just impossible, but it would have been great if, as I said, if there was like a raised sort of, not a paved, but a wooden sort of stilted sort of area that takes you through all these bunkers. I think it would be quite interesting for some people. So I'm back onto that bunker that I said was most likely blown up, or it imploded somehow. The ammunition inside got hit and the whole bunker has been destroyed. So this is just another angle of that same one. I was able to come around and have a bit of a look and just see how thick these walls were, and the amount of explosives that were used, or the weapon that might have been used to just blow it up to pieces. Whether or not someone was ever inside here, no one will know. But yeah, interesting. I guess one wouldn't feel all that safe being in a bunker when you see something like this. At least you wouldn't know what was coming before it was too late, and your reaction time would have been zero anyway. So it does appear that there's two more here that have been also hit and destroyed. I'll see if I can zoom in. Yeah, that one is also crumbled, and the one directly next to it as well. So there's three in a row that have all been hit. But there is another one just, let's see if I can get into in the center of your screen. If I can zoom in, no, that's about the best I can do. So yeah, there's one just there as well. So go to that next and we'll continue on. So here we are at another bunker, and on the top it does appear to have like vents. There's our entry. This one's known as E16, whatever the significance of that is. So there's your vent holes. Once again, I would say there was some other structure on the top of this to hide it better, so it couldn't be made a target for aircraft to attack. And I don't think there's any more bunkers that way, but I do believe there's one more we haven't seen. So these are the ones we've been to, and we'll go into this one to see what it's all about. See if there's anything significantly different. Oh, they've really made this one difficult to get into. I'm not going to be able to squeeze in there. I'm just not able-bodied as I once was. But we will come around the front of it. Pardon my runny nose. It gives you a better idea of whatever those vents were. And as we come around, this also seems to be focused more on the airport, and only one area for the port where the ships come in. Okay, so it doesn't appear to be any different to what we've already seen. So there's two holes only, or two gaps, where the cannon would have shot through. So there you have it. Okay, I think we want to find that one more to go to, and that'll see the end of this video. But we've got to somehow get over all this shrub to locate it. Now I've made another attempt to get into this E16 one, and I have managed to get through that little gap. And the only reason is I could see more light around the corner, so I thought it would be worthwhile to make our way in here. And sure enough, it has been. And as you can see, it's the same sort of setup. You've got this half circle thing that's in the middle, and instead of two slots, I assume there's actually three. So there you have it. So there's your three slots. Now imagine being a soldier and parking yourself here for endless days and nights. It wouldn't be all that pleasant. So I'm assuming it's on some sort of pivoting or rotating arm for the cannon to shoot from those three spots. Okay, very good. And maybe down to the side or behind here is where you'd keep your ammo or your projectiles. So obviously someone had to do some delivery for pamphlets, got paid to do it, and maybe dumped them all here instead. Oh, it's so funny. Nothing changes. Doesn't matter which country you're in. The kids and people do pretty much the same thing wherever they are. So here we have one more bunker, overrun by weeds, ferns and prickle bushes. And okay, this looks like a really easy entry point. So we'll go down here and hopefully not fall over. Okay, we've made it in. Okay, so it looks like once again there's two holes here that have both, well, one's been blocked off. So I guess you can sort of see who's coming before you let them in. And once again, we go down some steps. This looks very familiar to one of the other large ones we've stumbled into. This has got the, I don't know if I can capture that. Where is it? Just there. So there are air vents that leave a nice sort of opportunity for a bit of light to come through. If we go straight ahead, there's a few more big steps to come up. And well, this is slightly different, this one seems a lot smaller with different size openings. These are more of a square shaped ones. So I'm not sure, maybe this was more for a machine gun posting than a cannon, because it is a much smaller area that they've got. It looks like there's two positions here for maybe a machine gun post that's inside a bunker. So if we look, just bear with me as I step here, and as you can see, if I can get the camera up, there's one of the vents. So it is quite high. Sorry about the fog, there's not much I can do on the lens. It is quite humid in these places. Gives you maybe a better idea of what all this looks like. Okay, so there's a few vents here. So if you're into four-wheel driving and you want to camp out, bring your stretcher bed, bring your sleeping bags, start a little fire, and you can use a World War II bunker. Whether or not you're permitted to do that, I have no idea. But with the state they're in, I don't think anyone's going to really complain. So here we are out. There's another view. Once again, it's shaped like there would have been a roof on it of some sort, and hard to sort of picture or have as a target if you're an overhead plane. Now this path is a little bit better. There's a lot less trash, and we're basically making our way back to the car now. Now, just to jump in here, this is where I would normally do a little bit of research and find a bit of history or some sort of relevant information to what we've just seen, just to clarify what I've sort of interpreted as I've just walked around. I sort of do come to the conclusion that most of these bunkers were orientated or designed for machine gun use only. But there's nothing that I can find online that would suggest otherwise. You would have thought that there'd be a lot of information about these bunkers, about what sort of weapons were there, how many soldiers were required to sort of service one bunker, the larger ones as well as the smaller ones, when were they finally decommissioned, whether or not they might have been used during the Civil War or the War of Independence for Croatia. There's really no mention, and the only mention there is that after the First World War and sometime in the 1930s, it was the Italians that built all the bunkers pretty much throughout Croatia, particularly in the Zadar sort of district, and they were the ones that manned most of the bunkers. But other than that, that's the only information you get, and they were used during World War II and World War II only, from what I understand. So anyway, that's the best I could do. Please enjoy the rest of the aerial footage. So here we are at the end of this video, or this short moment in time. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, by all means, click on that like button or that thumbs up icon. Please consider subscribing. Subscribing doesn't cost you 1 cent, and it really does help the channel immensely. But most importantly, stay safe, commute safe, and have a great day. And remember to bring a flashlight if you're going to go check out bunkers. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.